Hello guys, my name is Soumitra Poyada and welcome to my YouTube channel Technical Soumitra. So I am new on YouTube channel. So I am going to start or upload one videos about the peptic ulcer. If you like the videos, then you can do like, and for get more uploaded videos, do subscribe and press the bell icon. Okay, let's start the today's topic, GIT tract, the peptic ulcer drugs. Okay, let's start. So mean GIT mean gastrointestinal tract, right? So in that we are going to discuss about peptic ulcer. Okay. So why it's been happening? Peptic ulcer. Why it's happen? So when we can see the acid base imbalances, then we can see the peptic ulcer. Okay, peptic ulcer drugs. So then we can see the peptic ulcer, or otherwise we can see when the imbalances between and aggressive and defensive, like aggressive mean. So when imbalances occur between aggressive and defensive, in aggressive what will come, like acid, pepsin and H pylori and H pylori and and defensive. In the defensive, what all playing major role, like mucus, bicarbonate, and prostaglandin. Prostaglandin. So these are when the imbalance between aggressive and defensive takes place. Then we can see the peptic ulcers. Okay, and in our stomach, when acid secretions activated by, in our stomach, acid secretions like acids, HCl is present in our stomach, right? HCl is present in our stomach. So HCl is activated by three um, three things like these are histamine and gastrin and cholecystokine, sorry, acetylcholine. Acetylcholine. Okay, so let's start with mechanism. Okay, what is the mechanism? So what is mechanism? So in general way, we can see how is being happening peptic ulcer. See, that is the muscarinic receptor. Okay, or we can see muscarinic receptor, or we can call like anticholinergic receptor. Okay, under anticholinergic receptor, the muscarinic receptor will come. This is muscarinic. Okay, that is prostaglandin. That is prostaglandin, and we can see also the histamine. Can you see? Are you able to see? Okay, see, we can see the histamine. Okay, and there we can see the cholecystokine receptor. Okay, so there in that it is extended up to the, there we can see the proton pump inhibitor, proton pump, that is proton pump. Okay, so that is proton pump. So here one cycle is going on, that is histamine receptor, histamine receptor, and that is cholecystokine receptor. Okay, so that is cholecystokine. So how is being happening the peptic ulcer? How it is happening peptic ulcer? So like that, in that mechanism where we can see the peptic ulcer. So that is muscarinic receptor, that is muscarinic receptor, when it activates calcium 2 plus ion. Okay, when it activates to the calcium 2 plus ion, then that calcium 2 plus ion is activating protein kinase. Okay, that calcium 2 plus ion is activating protein kinase, and that protein kinase is helping. So that is parietal cell of the stomach, parietal cell, and that is what lumen of stomach, that is lumen of stomach. Okay, so what is happening? So in parietal cell, H plus ion is there, and in lumen of the stomach we can see the presence of chlorine ion. Okay, so after activating the protein kinase, we can see the activation of the H plus ion. We can see the activation of the H plus ion. See, H plus ion. So after activation of the H plus ion, the H plus ion which is present in the parietal cell of the stomach, it's coming across through the proton pump, and the chlorine negative ion and the Cl negative ion which is present in the lumen of the stomach, it's coming across through the proton pump into the parietal cell. So we can see the exchanging of the ions from the parietal cells to the lumen, and the lumen of the stomach to the parietal cell. Okay, so we can see there the formation of the HCl, right? So in our stomach, see, so that is the stomach. Okay, so if there is the producing the HCl, if it is producing here, so because of the production of the HCl, we can see the peptic ulcer. So we can see that, see, look at there, like due to the muscarinic receptor, it's activating the calcium 2 plus ion, and it is also activating the protein kinase. Okay, after activation of the protein kinase, we can see that it is inducing, or it is helping to the coming across of the H plus ion to the H plus ion from parietal cell to the lumen of the stomach, and the lumen of the stomach which is present the chlorine negative ion, Cl negative ion, it is coming across through the proton pump to the parietal cell of the stomach. Okay, so like that also we can see the peptic ulcer is forming. Okay, and through the prostaglandin also. So in our stomach, on prostaglandin layer is there. When we will discuss the NSAIDs, or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, then we will tell that how it is being happening peptic ulcers in prostaglandin layers also, by rupturing prostaglandin layer also the peptic ulcer is inducing. Okay, so here we will um, lightly we will discuss the prostaglandin, and next we will see the H2 receptor, how H2 receptor is inducing the peptic ulcer. See, that is called adenyl cyclase. Okay, adenyl cyclase, and due to the H2 receptor, it is triggering the adenyl cyclase, and we can see the producing of the ATP, and simultaneously CAMP, means cyclic AMP, it is activating the protein kinase. Okay, so it is activating the protein kinase. Okay, it is activating the protein kinase, and this protein kinase is producing potassium. Okay, this potassium also playing a major role in proton pump. Okay, this potassium is inducing, this potassium is triggering the H plus ion, and we can see that again the cycle will repeat, right? What cycle? Like the cycle we can told na, we told na, like after the triggering the H plus ion, the H plus ion is, the H plus ion is what? The H plus ion is coming across from the proton pump to the lumen of the stomach, and the lumen of the stomach, the Cl negative ion is coming across from the lumen of the stomach to the parietal cell of the stomach. So we can see the formation of the HCl, formation of the HCl. So thereby you can see the inducing of the peptic ulcer. Okay, so I think you all have understand that mechanism, simple mechanism. If you remember that thing, you can easily understand the drugs, classification of the drugs of the peptic ulcer. Okay, so that is the muscarinic drugs, muscarinic receptor, which is also known by as a anticholinergic drugs, sorry, cholinergic receptors, cholinergic receptor. Okay, and this is histamine receptor, and this is cholecystokine, prostaglandin. Okay, let's start with the peptic ulcer. Let's start with the peptic ulcer drugs classification. So drugs classification, drugs classification. Okay, drugs classifications. First of all, we can understand, we can see the classification of the reduction of the gastric acid secretion. First will come reduction of gastric acid secretion. Okay, so under that what drugs will come? Under that what will first will come proton pump inhibitors. Okay, it is also known as the PPIs, PPIs. Okay, and the next, under the reduction of gastric acid secretion, under that next one come histamine blockers. Okay, and the next one come prostaglandin analogs, prostaglandin analogs. Okay, and the next one come like anticholinergics. Okay, anticholinergics. So we are classifying the drugs classification, reduction of the gastric acid secretion. So how we will reduce the gastric acid secretions? By inhibiting the C. If we'll inhibit the proton pump, right? Proton pump, if we'll inhibit, then we can easily reduce the peptic ulcer, right? We can easily reduce the peptic ulcer. Okay, so that is the first one is proton pump inhibitor, and the second one is H2 blockers. If we'll block, if we'll see, if we'll block the histamine blockers, if we'll block the histamine receptor, so easily we can see, we can easily inhibit that cycle, right? From the ATP to cyclic AMP, and the CAMP to protein kinase, and by the activation of the potassium, from the potassium activation to the activation of the H plus ion. So we can all prevent togetherly, right? Togetherly we can all prevent. So by that, thereby we are using the H2 blockers, right? Histamine blockers. And the third one is the prostaglandin analogs. If you are using the prostaglandin analogs, so by the thereby using of the prostaglandin analogs, we can also reducing the peptic ulcer. Okay. And the another one is the anticholinergic drugs. Anticholinergic drugs means we are already told that the cholinergic receptor is the muscarinic receptor. Okay, if you block there, easily we can prevent the peptic ulcer. See, if we suppose we are using the anticholinergic drugs, right? So it will easily block the muscarinic receptor, right? So after blocking the muscarinic receptor, we can see the blockage of this cycle, right? This cycle will be broke, right? So after the blocking of the cycle, we cannot see the coming across or the transition of the ions. So easily the 50 ulcer will be reduced. So under the proton pump inhibitors, the drugs what will come, like pantoprazole, first omeprazole, pantoprazole, lansoprazole, rabiprazole, etc. Okay, these are the proton pump inhibitors. So under that proton pump inhibitors, what are all drugs will come, like omeprazole, pantoprazole, lansoprazole, rabiprazole, right? So all drugs having the same mechanism of proton pump inhibitors. Like what are the function of the, what are the mechanism of action of the proton pump inhibitors? We can see it will block the easily proton pump, right? It will block the proton pump. So after the giving the proton pump inhibitors, we can easily block the proton pump. So these all drugs having the same function of the inhibitions. Okay, after that we can easily, we can say the histamine blockers. What drugs will come under histamine blockers? Like what drugs will come, like ranitidine, okay, laxotidine, laxotidine, roxatidine, roxatidine, famotidine, etc. Okay, etc. So under the histamine receptor, under histamine blockers, if we block the, if we use all those drugs, histamine blockers, we can see their mechanism of action will be like that. So after giving the histamine blockers, after giving the histamine blockers, we can block the histamine receptor, so we can prevent or we can inhibit the whole mechanism. Okay, right? So we are giving the histamine blockers. And the next thing is prostaglandin analogs. So there are two different types of prostaglandin analogs. So if we'll give the prostaglandin analogs like misoprostol, and the another thing is enprostil, these are the two types of drug what are comes under the prostaglandin analogs. If you the prostaglandin analogs see, so we can easily inhibit the peptic ulcer. Okay, and the next two drugs are under the comes under the anticholinergics. Anticholinergics drugs are like pyrazine and talenzapines. These two drugs are after giving these two drugs, we can block the muscarinic receptor, right? So after the blocking of the muscarinic receptor, we can see the inhibition of the whole cycle of the peptic ulcer. So we can easily inhibit the peptic ulcer. Okay, so these are the two types of drugs under anticholinergic drugs. These drugs are come pyrazine and talenzapine. Okay, so this is completion of the reduction of the gastric acid secretion. That is first classification. And the second classification is coming. And the second classification, what is the second classification? Neutralization of the gastric acid antacids. So neutralization neutralization of gastric acid. Neutralization of the gastric acid. This is also called the antacid. Okay, antacid. Why it is called antacid? Neutralization. So what is neutralization? Neutralization means it will nil, means we are secreting in our stomach, the secretion of the stomach, in our stomach, what is secreting? HCl, hydrochloric acid. So how it will be neutralized? By using some kinds of bases. Like what base will be used? Like aluminum hydroxide, okay, or magnesium hydroxide, MgOH2, okay. So if we'll use these bases, we can neutralize the gastric acid. Or these drugs, or ALOH whole 3, or or magnesium hydroxide, aluminum hydroxide or magnesium hydroxide, these two drugs are the calling as a antacids. Okay, so what is happening after the using of the antacids? So see the mechanism of the reactions. So HCl plus ALOH whole 3. Okay, so what is happening? See H2O2. So what will first AlCl3, the salt, this is salt, and plus water, and this is gas. Okay, and after using this antacid magnesium hydroxide with the HCl, we can see the product which will produce, that is MgCl, MgCl2 plus 2H2O, right? See, right? Okay, so by that we can neutralize, we are neutralizing the peptic ulcer. So that is the second one of the peptic ulcer drugs classification. And the third one is mucosal defense enhancer. Okay, mucosal defense enhancer. Okay, so under that what will come? So if we'll use these types of drug, what will happen? We can defense the mucosal secretion. Okay, mucosal secretion will be enhanced or defenses. So what drugs will come under that? For reducing the peptic ulcers, under the mucosal defense enhancer, the drugs what will come, like misoprostol, sucralfate, okay, colloidal bismuth, carbinoxolone sodium. Okay, so after using these types of drugs, we can see the less secretion of the mucus. Okay, so we can easily reduce the peptic ulcer. So okay, I think you people should understand. So when you will write in exam, what will happen? Suppose the separately can proton pump inhibitors, so you have to first draw that table. Okay, so after drawing that, you can mention easily. So what will come? The proton pump inhibitors mean the inhibition of the proton pump, right? So after giving that proton pump inhibitor drugs, we can inhibit the proton pump, right? So the cycle will not be happen, right? So you can reduce the peptic ulcer. So you can draw that table, and by that cross mark, you can show the blocking, right? So we have completed that topic, practicals are. So I would like to thank you to all you. If you like the video, do like and do subscribe. Okay, thank you. And for more updates, you can do subscription and press the bell icon, notification bell. Okay, thank you.